What's up, everybody? Thank you for giving my video a try. So today, I am under the impression that you're here because you're fully ready to get rid of your depression. You're saying to hell with it. It's gone. It's over. You're ready to open this new chapter in your life. Or maybe you're here because, I don't think this is going to make my depression go away, but let's try it out. Okay, so the thing is, you're here. A part of you, whether it's like 20% or 90% or 100%, a part of you wants to have the depression go away, or else you wouldn't be here. No one's just gonna click on a how to get rid of my depression video for curiosity. Anyone can benefit from it. You can't ask a single person on the planet if they've never had a bad day, and they would say, yeah, I've never had a bad day. You would never get that, right? We've all had bad days. It's just about how we experience that, how we handle it, how we move on from it. But today, we're going to get rid of all that depression. I'm not going to get rid of your sadness, because we're all human and we're all going to experience emotions throughout the longevity, of our life, throughout the duration of our life, excuse me. So I'm not going to be able to get rid of your human emotions and make you zombified, but what I am going to do is make you get rid of this false notion of this perceived depression that you have. So first, I want you to do this. I want you to ask yourself, from a scale of 1 to 10, how depressed are you and how depressed can you get? Now, I want you to do something. I want you to keep this number in mind. Now, I want you to close your eyes for a second, okay? Just humor me. Just go along with it and just try to take it seriously. You're going to probably smirk and laugh through it a little bit, probably not thinking it's going to work. Just try to humor me, okay? So just close your eyes right now and just try to breathe a little bit and just focus on your breathing. And this experience is going to carry over into the rest of your life, and you're never going to have to call upon this again. You're never going to have to go out and feel like you need any medication. You're never going to feel like you're going to have to go talk to a therapist. So I want you to just humor me just for a second throughout the duration of this video, and just try to actively listen to everything I'm saying, because everything I'm saying only serves to make you feel good. I'm not a psychiatrist that's trying to get money from your insurance company by, having multiple sessions and not getting to the point or the root of your cause of trauma. I'm not anyone who's trying to sell you any nicotine to get any money from you. This is purely just another human being looking at you straight in the face and telling you that the only person that's going to take control of your life is not going to be some fucking therapist. It's not going to be some people around you telling you that there's something wrong with you. It's going to be you. Up until this point, you've let everybody around you control you, and you've let everybody around you make you think that there's something wrong with you, that you're tainted. You've let people your age, you've let all of these substances control you. But now, today is the day that we're going to take control of our own mind and body. So what I want you to do is I want you to close your eyes and I want you to breathe. Okay. Now, I want you to imagine a dial. Okay. A clock, if you want, a set of numbers. Now, that number that I asked you to think of between 1 and 10, I want you to imagine this in your head. Okay. Now just breathe and bring yourself to the state of heightened emotions. However you feel when you're at this stage, I want you to think all these thoughts, whether you're sad or angry or down. I want you to bring upon yourself this feeling of depression. It's going to be very, very important. Think about all the things traumatic that you think of when you're depressed, all the insecurities, and I want you to think of all these things, okay? Now, I want you to just, in your head, now imagine this number going from, if it's at a 9, going to now a 7. And just imagine that number dropping as your feelings are elevated. You're going to do a little trick on your mind here. Now, I want you to bring that 7, if it's at a 7 now, and I want you to bring that to a 5. Now, keep letting that number drop slowly. And as that dial is dropping, I want you to imagine yourself feeling more and more energetic, more and more motivated, more and more passionate, more and more focused, filling yourself with self-love, and essentially making yourself smile, because making yourself smile it can go a very, very long way. So I want you to imagine this dial is all the way to a 1 now. And this is the happiest you can feel. So now I want you, even if you're feeling like shit, to just make yourself smile. Just make yourself smile. Now, I want you to take that dial in your head and imagine my big black hands grabbing it and just smashing it to the ground. Did that make you laugh? Keep your eyes closed. Now, I want you to imagine that as I smash this dial is now broken. this number can no longer go up past a 1. And anytime it tries to go up past a 1, it's broken, it glitches. You think it's going up, but it's not. This dial is now staying at a 1, and this 1 is now your default setting. This 1 is who you are meant to be and who you're going to be. And anytime you think about your depression or this dial going up, the more and more lowered it will become. Almost it's like going to go to a negative number. Now, I want you to ask yourself in your head as your eyes are still closed, how did you know you were depressed? How did you come to this conclusion? And I want you to ask yourself, did it have something to do with you being sad? Now, I want you to separate sadness and depression in your head for a second by asking yourself this question and answering this question. Is it possible for you to be sad without being quote unquote depressed? Of course it is. You can be sad or upset about something, but not be fully depressed. You don't have to be in a depressive episode to feel sadness, right? It's called being human. What depression really is, these other people, these professionals telling us, oh, you're depressed, oh, there's a chemical imbalance, oh, you need this, and medications, are what you need. But let me explain something to you for a second. And right now you can open your eyes, you can do whatever you want. Just listen to me talk for a second. Medications, what do? And what do you feel before and after you take medication? I'm going to explain that to you. What are you feeling during a depressive episode? You're feeling maybe tired. You're feeling unmotivated. Maybe you feel unlovable by yourself or unlovable by other people. But the difference between hypnosis, which is what I do, and medications is that I'm offering you a long-term permanent solution to hijack and take control of your own mind that'll carry you in any area of your life. Whereas medications, they don't cure depression. Medications, they help attack the symptoms of depression. They don't attack depression. They help attack the symptoms and the feelings associated with depression. And this does not make depression go away. Why do you think a lot of people have been taking medication for years and they still have problems with depression? It's a temporary relief from a long-term problem. But in actuality, it's up to you to tell yourself, I don't have depression. And it's not you being delusional. It's you taking control over your mind. And it's you telling yourself, this is going to go away right now. And it starts with the thought. If you're not even going to allow yourself to have the thought of not having depression, then how can you ever expect that it's going to go away? These videos that I make are about you taking control of your brain and you taking control of your body and you taking control of your life. If depression was truly helped by medication, you wouldn't need medication anymore. If there's a cure for a disease or a vaccine, if you take this vaccine or this cure, you don't have to worry about the thing anymore. So why doesn't medication work this way? Because in your brain, you're thinking, I can only cure my depression when I have access to this medication. So now, whether this medication works or not, and the fundamental scientific component of it, you've created that association with it. So even if you take like a sugar cube and you tell yourself, you trick yourself, you hypnotize yourself, every time I take this sugar cube, I'm going to naturally feel more happy. That's what's going to happen. It's like have you guys ever heard of that thing where you go to a party and you can give somebody a cup of water and you can tell them that it's alcohol and they think they're getting drunk? It's the power of belief, and this is no different. So the same way that you can effectively hypnotize yourself in order to think negative thoughts, then why shouldn't you be able to do the same thing for positive thoughts? It's all about association in your head. So I want you guys to keep in mind that it doesn't matter what a researcher tells you, you're in control of your own brain, okay? Now, close your eyes again, okay? And I want you to see this color that you see, this blackness. I want you to have that image for depression, okay? Now, just really, really see that blackness, all right? Now, what I want you to do is open your eyes, okay? Now, just imagine that this blackness that you see is your depression. What's the opposite of black? White. What's the opposite of depression? Feelings of happiness, feelings of motivation, feelings of ambition. You only have one life, and you have to live it. Now, what I want you to do is I want you to look anywhere around, and I want you to look at something white. And I want you to associate that with happy feelings. And I want you to just do something for me. I want you to, every time you look at a white object anywhere around, and anytime you see that white object, you just crack a smirk, because that right there is representing the opposite of your depression. That whiteness is representing your happiness. And I just want you to do this for a second. So I want you to, every time you look at something white, you smile. Okay? Now, I want you to ask yourself something. If I told you to find the color black, could you find it if you wanted to? Sure, you can. It's just about hyperfixation and what I'm telling you to do with your mind and what I'm telling you to focus on. So if it's that easy for you to have emotional association like that, to just look at something white in the room and laugh, it should be that easy to, every time you think about that negative thought of depression coming back, to just, no, just snapping it out of your head like that. The only reason why you think it's not possible is because it hasn't been done before, and it's not done a lot. But I've hypnotized many people have gotten hypnotized, and many people, you know, it's all about the power of your belief, and your belief should be in yourself and your ability to take control of your life. And you know, this is all going to be the internal battle. And the external battle, what I want you guys to do is I want you guys to surround yourself with good people and good friends, people who are going to inspire you. And if you can't find people like that, then don't actively search. It's not a necessity. Master your own happiness and your own peace and your own guidance and your own love in yourself, and don't give up on yourself. And if you do anything that is seen as weird or outlandish, who gives a fuck? Are any of us normal? Can anybody in the world tell you that what you're doing is unusual just because it's not something they would do? We have hundreds of thousands of occupations. We have so many different hobbies out here. And what's something, a skill that we're not good at, that doesn't mean that someone else isn't going to be a master at it. And vice versa. Just because someone else sucks at something, it doesn't mean that we're not going to be a master of it. And if this person that's telling you that you're weird, if they can't beat you in everything that you like to do, then why are you even listening? Like, if you are a person who likes to draw or something, and this person likes to play basketball, and they're calling you weird, well, you can draw a lot better than they can, right? You know, that's a skill that you have. That's a form of artistic intelligence. Now, they have athletic intelligence and you have artistic intelligence. Weirdness is only, it's a suggestive term, because what one person that's telling you is weird might find weird, that doesn't mean that 7 billion other people are going to find that weird. So it's suggestive, subjective, excuse me. It's like if 99% of the human population didn't want you, or they thought you were undesirable, you still have a chance with millions of people statistically. So don't let one opinion, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 20 opinions sway you, because you know deep down that you are not weird and that you are not unusual. And even if that was the case, so what? What is normal? Everyone cheating on each other, everyone being toxic, everyone has a depression story or a trauma dump story. That's what's normal. That's what you want to fit in with. You know, so don't be afraid to be daring. Don't be afraid to be different. Don't be afraid to have different ideas. You know, don't be afraid to be that person that you were meant to be. And I want you to also ask yourself, you have 2 thoughts in your head. And I want you to ask yourself, who do you think you are and who do you think you're meant to be? Because if these 2 people aren't aligned, then you're going to have a very, very tough time. You have the person that you try to be because of society, and then you have the type of person that you are intrinsically and that you want to be. If you can't get these 2 on the same page, you're going to have a lot of issues, and you need to do it, and you're going to. And it's as easy as 1, 2, 3, snapping yourself into that belief, telling yourself, okay, we're going to get this done. And also, if you don't master that self-love, which I know you can because you're here and you're giving this video a watch, if you don't master that self-love, then no one else can do it for you, you know. And if you are loathing and self-pity, you're not going to surround yourself with the type of friends that you need, the friends that are going to motivate you and carry you. You're going to be surrounding yourself with the same people who are just as miserable as you are, and you're all just going to, waste your lives. You're going to meet a partner that's going to see that you don't love yourself and that you're codependent, and they're just going to feel like they can walk all over you. So you have to master that yourself, and no one can do it but you. I can hypnotize people all up and down the wall to not be able to move their hands and not be able to move their feet. But the strongest hypnotist out of me and you is going to be you at the end of the day. I'm not going to be there 24/7 when you're depressed. What I'm doing is I'm igniting that flame. You're the one that's going to keep it burning. And this flame is going to guide you in every area of your life that's necessary for your thrival period, your passion and that fire that you feel inside of you. Because no one can keep your flame brighter than you can. So I want you to take everything that we talked about here today, and I want you to really, really focus on everything. Whenever you feel like that depression is coming back on, just remember in that head, that dial going back, snapping your fingers. Every time it's going back 2 numbers all the way until it gets to 1. And then just remember how that dial is smashed. Don't ever let it get back up. Don't ever let it get back up. Keep that dial at a 1 and tell yourself depression is not a thing. Even if the science says it is, even if, and by the way, there's no lab results that'll tell you that you're depressed. The only thing lab results can do are show you the symptoms of that depression that come from your, decreased feelings, from your decreased emotions and serotonin imbalances and all that stuff. That's it. You can't. There's no science that'll tell you are depressed. What that science is that you have a chemical imbalance because you've been telling yourself this for so long. So even if you wanted to go the scientific route, there's your answer. But we're not going to go the scientific route. We're going to master ourselves, and we're going to ignore all of that. And I want you to really, really focus on this because, listen, I was a person who used to always tell myself, I used to always have negative reinforcement. I'm always going to be like this. I'm never going to be able to change. I'm never going to be able to do this. I'm always going to be weird. I'm always going to be that. Literally, the power of belief, telling yourself. And it's that simple. I promise you it is that simple. And it'll be that simple if you allow it to be that simple. Why should you have to spend all this money to make yourself happy? Why should you have to go, and do all this stuff? If it's a court-ordered therapy session, of course there's benefits from it. But what I'm saying is that when you go home at night, I don't want you to feel like you need to, do this or else your world is going to come apart. Your life is very important and you're here for a reason. You have that heartbeat every day. Your body is working hard for you to stay afloat. So do not give up on yourself. I'm here. You're here for yourself. And at the end of the day, the main person that should want you to continue is you. And thank you guys for watching.